Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Giri Vadadari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Giri Vadadari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Madhava ki Shri Radha Radhanath ki Jayam Vishnu Pada Paramamsa Parivrakacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki DBT founder Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada ki Senapati Bhakta Srila Prabhupada ki Mantra Upasaka Srila Prabhupada ki Preeminent Shiksha Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Devi of the whole world Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Om Vishnu Pada Paramamsa Parivrakacharya Stotara Shata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Premse Kaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Shri Gopal Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Ganga Mai ki Tulsi Maharani ki Samabheta Bhakta Vrinda ki Gaura Premanande all glorious assembled devotees all glorious assembled devotees all glorious assembled devotees all glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga all glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Today we're reading from the first chapter of the Caitanya Charitamrta. We're doing text 54 of the first chapter. So you can repeat after me. Rite artam yat pratiyata, na pratiyata, chatmani, tad, vidyad, atmano, mayam, yata baso, yata tama, ritirtham yat pratiyata, ritirtham yat pratiyata, na pratiyata chatmani, tad vidyad atmano, mayam, yata baso yata tama, ritirtham yat pratiyata, na pratiyata chatmani, tad vidyad atmano mayam, yata baso yata tama, Word for word translation. Ritya, without. Artham, value. Yat, that. That which. Pratiyata, appears to be. Na, not. Pratiyata, appears to be. Cha, certainly. Atmani, in relation to me. Tat, that. Vidyat, you must know. Atmana, my. Mayam, illusory energy. Yata, just as. Abasa, the reflection. Yata, just as. Tama, the darkness. Before I read the translation and purport, we can just do the invocation. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. Purport. In the previous verse, the absolute truth and its nature have been explained. One must also understand the relative truth to actually know the absolute. The relative truth, which is called Maya, or material nature, is explained here. Maya has no independent existence. One who is less intelligent is captivated by the wonderful activities of Maya. But he does not understand that behind these activities is the direction of the Supreme, of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, it is said, Maya Dyakshana Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. The material nature is working and producing moving and non-moving beings only by the supervision of Krishna. The real nature of Maya, the illusory existence of the material manifestation, is clearly explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. The absolute truth is substance, and the relative truth depends upon its relationship with the absolute for its existence. Maya means energy. Therefore, the relative truth is explained to be the energy of the absolute truth. Since it is difficult to understand the distinction between the absolute and the relative truth, an analogy can be given for clarification. The absolute truth can be compared to the sun, which is appreciated in terms of two relative truths, reflection and darkness. Darkness is the absence of sunshine, and a reflection is a projection of sunlight into darkness. Neither darkness nor reflection has an independent existence. Darkness comes when the sunshine is blocked. For example, if one stands facing the sun, his back will be in darkness. Since darkness stands in the absence of the sun, it is therefore relative to the sun. The spiritual world is compared to real sunshine, and the material world is compared to the dark regions where the sun is not visible. When the material manifestation appears very wonderful, it is due to a perverted reflection of the supreme sunshine, the absolute truth, as confirmed in the Vedanta Sutra. Whatever one can see here has its substance in the absolute. As darkness is situated far away from the sun, so the material world is also far away from the spiritual world. The Vedic literature directs us not to be captivated by the dark regions, tama, but to try to reach the shining regions of the absolute, yogi dhamma. The spiritual world is brightly illuminated, but the material world is wrapped in darkness. In the material world, sunshine, moonshine, or different kinds of artificial light are required to dispel darkness, especially at night, for by nature the material world is dark. Therefore, the Supreme Lord has arranged for sunshine and moonshine, but in his abode, as described in Bhagavad Gita 15.6, there is no necessity for lighting by sunshine, moonshine, or electricity, because everything is self-effulgent. That which is relative, temporary, and far away from the absolute truth is called Maya, or ignorance. This illusion is exhibited in two ways. As explained in the Bhagavad Gita, the inferior illusion is inert matter, and the superior illusion is the living entity. The living entities are called illusory in this context only because they are implicated in the illusory structures and activities of the material world. Actually, the living entities are not illusory, but they are parts of the superior energy of the Supreme Lord and do not have to be covered by Maya if they do not want to be so. The actions of the living entities in the spiritual kingdom are not illusory. They are the actual eternal activities of liberated souls. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshut Unmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ya Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The translation again. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. Hare Krishna. Krishna is the absolute truth, and he is the absolute truth in complete perfection. Hence he has been titled by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That title, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was coined by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Krishna is supreme because he has no equal nor superior. Not even Krishna's expansions like Narayan and Vasudev, not even Balaram, who is Krishna's first expansion, comes close to the supremacy of Krishna. It said, Rake Krishna Mareke, Mare Krishna Rakeke. If Krishna wants to protect you, who can kill you? If Krishna wants to kill you, who can protect you? In the Bhagavatam, there is a great devotee of the Lord named Ambarish Maharaj. It said that he was perfect in all the processes of bhakti, very exemplary devotee. So Ambarish Maharaj did a vow to fast for every Ekadasi of the year, and he did it. And so when he was waiting to break his fast, Durvasa Muni arrived at his household. So it was agreed upon that Ambarish and Durvasa would eat together, but first Durvasa wanted to take a bath. While waiting for Durvasa to come back from his bath, time was ticking away. The time to break the Ekadasi fast was about to arrive, but Durvasa was nowhere to be seen. So Ambarish was at a dilemma. He did not want to break his agreement with Durvasa Muni, but he had to break his Ekadasi fast at the right time. So Ambarish decided to break his fast by sipping water. Sipping water is considered to be eating and not eating at the same time. That way, by sipping water, he can break his fast, and at the same time, he can keep his agreement with Durvasa Muni. However, when Durvasa Muni returned, he understood that Ambarish Maharaj ate without him, and he became angry. Durvasa is famous for cursing people when he is angry. So he directed that anger towards Ambarish Maharaj. At the time when Durvasa was cursing, the Sudarshan Chakra came from nowhere with the intention to kill Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni started to run for his life, forgetting about Ambarish Maharaj. Durvasa Muni was chased all over the universe. He sought protection from Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma couldn't help him. He went to Lord Shiva for protection. Lord Shiva couldn't help him. Durvasa Muni was so powerful that he could go to Vaikuntha, where he sought protection from Narayan. And Lord Narayan said that even he was helpless and couldn't protect Durvasa Muni. The lesson is that if Krishna wants to kill you, no one can help you. Not even the incarnations of Krishna can help you if Krishna wants to kill you. Likewise, at the end of the war of the Mahabharata, Bhim and Duryodhan was having their final clash. In that exchange, Bhim won and beat Duryodhan by cheating. Balaram saw what had happened. Bhima cheated. It was unfair. So Lord Balaram decided to kill Bhim. Balaram ran after Bhim. Bhim saw that Balaram was coming like death personified. Bhim didn't fight back. He accepted whatever punishment was decided by the Lord. Just as Balaram was running, Krishna was running faster. Krishna jumped onto Balaram's back. Krishna jumped onto Balaram's back and wrapped his legs around Balaram's legs. He wrapped his arms around Balaram's arms. Balaram was locked into position. Balaram couldn't move. Balaram angrily screamed, "Leave me. I'm going to kill this cheater, Bhim." No matter how much Balaram struggled, he couldn't break free from Krishna's hold. He couldn't do anything. So the lesson is that if Krishna wants to protect you, nobody can kill you. Not even the first expansion of the Supreme Lord, Balaram, can kill you. So Krishna is supreme. Krishna is full of personality. Krishna steals butter from the neighbor's house. He'll take food from his own home and feed the monkeys. His mother tied him to a grinding mortar. And as revenge, he decided to knock down the twin Arjuna trees. He gets into arguments with the gopis. He plays leapfrog with his friends. Krishna is full of personality. And Krishna is Godhead. Krishna is the fountainhead of God. In other words, he is the source of God. Being the source also means that he is ultimately the source of the spiritual world, and in the same way, he is the source of the material world. The material and spiritual worlds are made up of Krishna's power, Krishna's energy. Prabhupada would say in his purport that the energy and the energetic are non-different. Krishna and his energies are non-different. Everything in existence is made up of Krishna's energies. Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Prabhupada ki. Making Krishna non-different from everything that exists. Simultaneously, Krishna is different. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is achintya beda beda tattva, inconceivable, simultaneous oneness and difference, is basically the summary of Krishna's existence. Krishna may be non-different from his energies, but none of his energies are equal nor superior than him. So Krishna is the absolute truth, as described in this purport. The illusory material world is called the relative truth. The material energy of the Lord is called Maya, and it is part of the absolute truth, but is relative to us because we live in it. We are here circulating this material existence because we have committed some offense against the Supreme Lord or his associates. We have been criminally charged and placed here in this illusory existence. It is described that this material nature is the perverted reflection of the spiritual world. Sometimes it is said that this material nature is the shadow of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The transcendental body of the Supreme Lord is called Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. The transcendental body of the Lord is made up of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, respectively. The spiritual nature is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And since the material nature is the perverted reflection of the spiritual nature, that means the material nature is made up of elements that are the opposite of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. The opposite of eternity is temporary. The opposite of knowledge is speculation. The opposite of bliss is misery. The material world is temporary, speculative, and miserable. Some devotees say that the elements of eternity, knowledge, and bliss appear in the material world as the three modes of nature. Bliss means happiness, and happiness is a quality of the mode of goodness. The quality of lust only manifests when the mode of passion is prominent, and the Sanskrit word for lust is kama. However, the root translation of kama from Sanskrit to English is desire, and desire only manifests when you have knowledge of something. If you've never tasted halwa, you'll never have a desire for it. But if you have knowledge of what halwa tastes like, you will develop a desire for it. That's why everyone's mind is messed up in this modern age. The internet has provided so much knowledge that it has made people desire things that they shouldn't desire. Knowledge is associated with the mode of passion. Then there is the mode of ignorance, tamagun. Tamas means darkness. When you are in the dark, time cannot be measured. In the dark, time is inconspicuous by its absence. Time is there, but it becomes very difficult to notice while in the dark. Sometimes when you do notice the presence of time, you always think, why is everything taking so long? Or, how did time go by so quickly? That's because you are under the influence of the mode of ignorance. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam that confirms this point. 5:24:11. Yatra ha vava nabayam aho ratra dibi kala vibagair upalakshyatya. Since there is no sunshine in those subterranean planets, time is not divided into days and nights, and consequently, fear produced by time does not exist. When you are in the dark, fear produced by time doesn't manifest. In today's purport, the idea of the sun and the and sunshine is quite prominent. With the presence of the sun, it becomes easy to calculate time. Sunshine dissipates the darkness. Thus, you can perceive the difference between day and night. You will know that yesterday is not the same as today. You will know that you are not the same age as you were yesterday, and that your lifespan is being depleted. Fear produced by time begins to manifest, and you become aware that you have to prepare for death. So eternity, which is immeasurable time, is associated with the mode of ignorance. As much as the material world is covered by darkness, as much as this material nature is illusory, this material existence is also a person. In this purport, Prabhupada calls her Maya, but she goes by a more common name, that is Durga. The word Durga means fort. A fort as in a fortress. A fortress is a structure that is meant to prevent something that is outside from coming in. So this Durga, material nature, is a fortress, except it's not meant to stop anything from coming in. It is meant to stop something from inside from coming out. This material world is sometimes called Durga Dham. Durga Dham means prison house. So this world we live in is a prison, and we are all criminals. This prison is divided into sections, where the central area is a place that the majority of the prisoners go. In this area, you will find various cliques, different factions. They may be racial factions, religious factions, prisoners that are solo. There are different hierarchies, and prisoners you shouldn't mess with, and so on. In this prison, the prisoners are given duties. Some prisoners do labor, like cleaning or preparing foodstuff. Some prisoners do underhanded business, maybe selling drugs. Other prisoners are working out at the gym because they want to be strong, while there are prisoners who are at the library reading or studying. The prison house provides food for every single prisoner. Unfortunately, before you can even enjoy your quota, another big-time prisoner took it away. Now you don't have food, and you are hungry, and so you get agitated. If you are lucky, another prisoner might share their quota with you. You become friends. Alternatively, once your quota is stolen and you don't do anything about it, it means that other prisoners can bully you for entertainment. Maybe you are a bit smarter. Since you can't do anything about the prisoners that are stronger than you can scheme and create friction between various factions. Sometimes there are altercations. It may have started with two people fighting and end up with the whole central prison fighting. We need a revolution. If the prisoners have enough freedom to create their own system of government, then that government will collect your prison house quota of food on your behalf and make you work hard for the quota of food that you are meant to get for free. As a prisoner, sometimes you need to interact with someone who is not a prisoner, but someone who is in the prison at all times. So who is in the prison house but not a prisoner? The prison guard. The prison guards are the demigods, the devatas. Sometimes a prisoner will become friendly with the prison guard, like a devotee of the prison guard. And the prison guard may engage his follower in some espionage. Maybe there's some nasty prisoners who want to start a revolt in the prison house. Prisoner A is following one prison guard, and prisoner B is following another prison guard. Prisoner A is thinking that the prison guard that he is following is the best because the prison guard is giving him shelter. Similarly, prisoner B is thinking the same thing. Prisoner A and prisoner B starts arguing. Prisoner A is saying, the prison guard that I'm following is the most caring. He protects me from my enemies. Prisoner B retorts, the prison guard I'm following said that if I behave myself, he will take me to another section of the prison house that is like paradise. The prisoners start fighting. They want to defend the prison guard that they are following. Meanwhile, the prison guards are all in the same team. They are working for the prison house. Sometimes there is a prison guard that has so many followers in the prison that he becomes puffed up. He thinks that he is a big controller, that he can do whatever he wants to the prisoners. He might become a corrupt prison guard. Sometimes the prison guard is female. When the prisoners see her, she is like an apsara. The prisoners can't control themselves. The prisoners know that with good behavior, they can be promoted to another section of the prison that is like heaven. You get your own room, maybe your own computer. The food is like nectar compared to where you was before. And here, you can freely move about and interact with other prison guards and inmates in the same area without a curfew. On the other hand, if you misbehave, you get sent to a special area of the prison house that nobody likes to go. There, you are isolated from everyone else. Here, there is a special type of prison guards that specialize in torturing their visitors. When the prisoners come out of that place, they don't come back the same. So the central area of the prison house is like the earthly planet. And the first class facilities are like the heavenly planet. Similarly, there must be a place that is similar to the lower planetary systems. That place, ordinary prison guards don't go. There the big-time prisoners stay, the most dangerous kinds of criminals. Criminals that have connections to people you won't believe. These big-time criminals, they will look at you and ask, why are you following these prison guards? They are outside of the prison cell. How are they going to help you? Then the criminal will say, why don't you become my follower instead? When the time comes, I'll take over this whole prison. Everything will be under my control. The first step of my plan is to make the prison guards untrustworthy in the eyes of the prisoners. That way they'll become my followers instead. And those who remain fixed in the service of the prison guards, my followers will persecute them as traitors. And those who challenge me, I will have them sent to that place where they'll be tortured. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, understands everything that's going on. He knows that the prisoners don't trust the prison guards because of some conspiracy. He knows that all the prisoners have come under the manipulation of a criminal boss. So what does the Supreme Lord do? The Lord comes himself or sends his representative into the prison house in a disguised form. Actually, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, what incarnation he is known as? He is called the Channa Avatar, the hidden incarnation. Lord Chaitanya didn't come as some kind of supreme being. He came undercover like he was one of the prisoners in the prison house, and his appearance was just like the sunshine, dissipating the darkness of ignorance. During the week, there are uh, Srimad Bhagavatam classes going on. We are currently reading the chapter entitled The Song Sung by Lord Shiva. In the purport to text 424.36, Prabhupada points out that the sun is empowered by the Supreme Lord, Aniruddha, and the sun is so powerful that it can purify dirty things, including dirty things in the mind. And in Krishna book, Prabhupada said that Maya only exists within the mind. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared just like the rising sun to dissipate the darkness of ignorance within the prison house. And he has planted the seed of bhakti. Actually, the seed of bhakti is not referring to an actual seed. Instead, what has been planted into this prison house is the Lord's representative. This representative of the Lord is living amongst the prisoners like a prisoner himself. Even though the devotee and the prison guards are on the same side, he is not trying to get close to the prison guards. It will jeopardize the mission, the Lord's mission, and he is targeted by it will jeopardize the Lord's mission if he is targeted by the criminal bosses who are against the prison guards. At the same time, the devotee has to avoid the criminal bosses because he can't let them know that he is not under the control of the system of the criminals who want to take over the prison house. So the first step of the Lord's mission is to spread a rumor. Hey, have you heard? This prison house is actually an illusion. We have food and shelter. We have a library and access to gym equipment and musical instruments. But we are all living under the criminal boss's authority, where we have to work beyond the duties sanctioned by the prison warden. We are being cheated. Look, when there are problems between the prisoners, the prison guards are not inclined to help because the prisoners don't believe in them. Now the prison house is either too hot or too cold. There's either a flood or hurricane, but no one to help us. We think we are living happily, but we haven't even experienced what real happiness is. Apparently, there is an entire world outside this prison house. Everybody is living freely in the spiritual kingdom. So the rumors start spreading. They heard about life outside the prison house, but no one knows for sure, as no one has been outside the prison house before. And just as ordinary prisoners heard the rumors, the big-time prisoners from criminal gangs also heard the rumors. So they go around the central prison, secretly visiting various factions in the prison. Who is spreading rumors? And when they come to the League of Devotees, they see the devotees screaming and jumping and dancing, banging instruments while wearing their prison cell bedsheet. The devotees have to behave crazy and wild in order to mislead the criminal gangs. The last time a representative of the Lord was sent to challenge the system of the criminals, they nailed him to a cross. So the criminals think that these devotees are a bunch of crazy people. They can't be the ones spreading the rumors, and so they leave the devotees alone. The representative of the Lord, in due course, starts his own faction in the prison house, the League of Devotees. To become part of the League of Devotees, you have to undergo some trials. chant 16 rounds, minimum, follow the 4 regulative principles, engage in devotional service, associate with the devotees. In that way, you can earn the trust of the Lord and His representatives with your effort. When you earn the trust, you can be initiated into the inner circle where you can be involved in the mission of the Lord. What is the mission of the Lord? To break out of this prison house. That's why you have to respect the prison guards from a distance. If they find out you are going to break out of the prison, you are going to get in trouble. Similarly, you can't let the criminal bosses find out as well. It will also be troublesome. So what do the devotees do? They associate with the devotees, preach to the prisoners that want to repent, and avoid the prisoners that are demons. And they help those worthy of the Supreme Lord and help them break out of the prison house. So this is basically the structure of the material world, the relative truth that is part of the absolute truth. The prison house is part of the spiritual kingdom. It may be segregated and follows its own rules, but it is still part of the spiritual kingdom. I'll stop over here. Any questions, comments, additions? Prabhupada ki